Hi YouTube family. Welcome everyone to Memory Lane Monday, where every Monday I'll be uploading a video on some memories that I've got, and hopefully we can share memories too. I want to talk today about relationships with your parents. I want to talk about the memory actually of my mum. And now I realise not everyone has a good relationship with their parents, but I was lucky enough to have a fantastic relationship with mum. She was like a best friend really. So so many memories to share really. Unfortunately I did lose my mum in 2007 to leukaemia, and at the time it was awful because she was my best friend. But I look back now and I have to smile. She left so many good memories. Mum used to come over and we used to go in the back garden and have a drink and stuff like that, and a bit of a picnic, you know, and the kids would be there. And I said to her one night, "God, Mum, you're not losing weight." I mean, every time she used to come over, she looked thinner. She said to me, "Jack, don't keep on." So I didn't bother anyway. She rang me one night and she said that because she worked at the doctor's surgery, they'd all had a cholesterol test, and she got a phone call from the hospital. Could she come in? So she asked her GP what could it be, and she had white blood cells are very high. So he said to her it can either be one of two things. It can be an infection or leukaemia. I thought, God. Anyway, so I got ready and drove over and we went up to the hospital, and it turned out it was leukaemia. Now, she was 52 at the time, and they said out of all the leukemias, if you were to have one, it's the better one to have because your life expectancy is a bit more. I know from reading that there's two types. There's acute myeloid and chronic. My mum's was chronic. So the lady said to her, well, usually life expectancy is 4 to 6 years. So, but why? What a shock that was. There was lots of upsets on the way. I mean, I just couldn't get to grips with it at all. It really upset me, and my work actually at the time were really good. I went to HR and she gave me a cuddle and she said, "Jack," she said, "take 2 weeks off and we're going to pay you." She said, "and just do what you enjoy doing." And I couldn't believe how good they were, you know, and they were good. So anyway, Mum lived for 10 years with it, and she died in 2007 when she was 62. But I've got such lovely memories of her, funny ones as well. As you probably have guessed, she went through lots of chemotherapy and lots of stays in hospital, and towards the end she had to go in about 3 times a week to get blood transfusions. And I forgot to tell you that bit, but I remember being in the hospice. We used to just visit there, you know, with her, and the doctor came in and said they won't be doing any more transfusions. So she just looked at me, and that was the look when I knew she knew, you know, that was going to be it. But I remember they asked her at the hospital if she'd go in the local magazine, you know, to do with wigs. Anyway, she did. But what she told me to do was to shave all her hair off, so I did that. And of course she went in this magazine. Anyway, she'd ended up, she had to have a wig, you know, because she lost her hair. And I'd go around there and the kids would have it. They'd be playing dressing up with it on. But she'd never wear it. She always used to wear her Arsenal cap. And that was a funny memory. Another fond memory I have of her is I used to take her every year to Epsom Downs racing, you know, for the Derby. Whatever it was, I used to take her, and we used to have a right good time. We used to have a drink and that. Well, I didn't because I was driving, but she did, and she ended up buying this tea set. I mean, they were lovely. They were, yeah, I don't know if you've seen the ones that the gypsies have. They're quite fancy and all that, and it was one of them. And of course it was pouring with rain this day, and she got me to carry it, of course, and all the bottom of the box was getting wet and soggy and falling out. And it's things like that that I never forget. I remember when I first had Adam, my son, I think it was the first night when I got home actually. She came over and let me sleep the night and babysat him all night. That's the sort of person she was. Other things she used to do, I used to be at home or something. When the kids were little, this was. There'd be a knock at the door and I'd go and get it. And it'd be Iceland with a load of shopping. She would do things like that. She was so kind-hearted. Unbelievable, really. Really popular, you know, not an old-fashioned mum or anything like that. Everyone loved being around her, and she was the life and soul. Embarrassing sometimes, because I remember she used to, when we used to go on holidays, she used to get on the stage and tell jokes and that. Well, I'm not quite as outgoing as she was. I'm a bit more, I'm not shy or anything like that, but I'm not as outgoing, and so I'm not like that. One of my mum's worst things, I would say, was that she'd ring me up or something, because she used to ring every day. If not, she'd text me if I was at work or anything like that. She'd say, Jack, I've told Bob and Ted, or whoever it was, that you're going to give them a lift on Saturday night. She'd never ask me first. She would volunteer me. That was one of her worst things. But I do miss her. I miss her a lot. She was like a best friend. I mean, when we were kids, I remember, not kids, but when I was young, sort of like 15 or 16, we used to walk to the local pub, and that was quite a walk. It was about 1.5 miles. It was a country lane, so you had to walk down to the village. And yeah, she used to buy me a little drink, and used to play Skittles and walk back. My dad wasn't such a big part in my life because he was in the army and he was always away, so I suppose it was always me mum. I used to take her fishing, and I've got a photo actually. I put some photos at the end, and she used to love that. Make a flask and sit there all day. But she used to mock me because I used to say, you won't catch anything with that great big worm on there. You watch, she say. And yeah, she was right. They were good, really good memories. All my mum's side of the family had a really good sense of humour. You could have a right laugh, you know. And I remember her mum was as bad. My mum would go over, we'd visit all of us, and she'd give her a ring. My mum would give her like a ring, and the next time we go over, she'd go, "Where's that ring that I give you?" "Oh, I'll give it to her next door, poor thing. She ain't got anything." She was terrible. But I always remember my mum saying to me with her mum, she said, even when her mum was dying, she said to her mum, "I love you." And her mum just said, "I know you do." Not "I love you," she just said, "I know you do." My mum always said that made her get over her easier. But I don't know. Anyway, when I moved to West Sussex, my mum ended up wanting to move down there, so she bought a wooden log cabin on a residential site, and we used to go to bingo. You know, I used to call in there from work on the way home, and it was great. We used to go off down to Havant to bingo, and she loved the old car boot sales. I did as well. There's not so many over here, but I like to have a good look around them. And but towards kind of like 3/4 of her life, she ended up having one of those mobility scooters, because she was quite thin and lost a lot of weight and was quite weak. But I still used to take her. I used to put it in the boot and we'd go to the car boot. But the thing is, I'd just start to get round there and she'd be 3/4 of the way around, because she had this scooter, and she'd sort of like toot her horn where she bought an ice cream and she was nearly finished and I'd only just started. But I've got lots of lovely memories like that. Another thing that she used to do, it's a family thing, we were all like it. Every time I went to her, we'd give a kiss hello and that, and when we went it was love you lots and all stuff like that, you know, and that was always a thing for all of our family really. It was always a very caring family. I remember her always having to work hard. I mean, when my dad came out the army, I can't remember what he did when he came out the army. We were living in Somerset then. But I remember she had to get a job there. She worked in a meat factory, and I remember having to put like carrier bags in her shoes to get her feet warm. And I also remember that time, that was the same time when she had that job, when her car slid off the road into a ditch. She had this little Honda, it was tiny, a tiny little box car. And yeah, that took off the road, went down the ditch. I always think that, this is my personal view, I know it's not the same for everyone, but I always think a mum keeps the family together. But saying that, unfortunately, when my mum did die, our family sort of drifted apart really. I lost a lot of family in a short space of time, about 18 months, so many aunties and uncles and stepdad and everything. But yeah, when my mum died, I stopped speaking to my brother for, I haven't spoken to him for years. He's into, you know, drugs, and I'm not into that at all, and I'm not happy with that. So that's made us drift apart big time. It's a shame, but I'm not getting involved in anything like that. I found the worst time for me was I couldn't go around to her cabin after she passed away. She was in hospice for 12 days before she died. But when I eventually did go there, it was kind of like such a weird feeling. There was a cup of coffee there, you know, and exactly how she would have left it, just as she went into the hospice, and it was just awful. And what I was surprised at was the people that rang me and said, oh, can I have a dishwasher or a tumble dryer, and I was really angry with that. No, that's all they could think about, but people are like that when people die. Another really funny memory I have of her is we were driving along in the car, and I looked up into the mirror and I saw her sitting back, and I said to her, do you think you'll ever go abroad again, Mum? She said, no, I think it's the thickest it's ever been. Now, I don't think it's easy getting over someone that you really love, and it took me a long time. I'd say probably about three years or something like that before I could stop crying. On birthdays, you know, when it was your birthday and you realised she wasn't here anymore, and but I think just with time heals everything, and you know, I've got a wealth of memories and photos and things in my mind that I remember, and she's someone I'd never forget, because I loved her that much. Anyway, you take care everyone, and I hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully see you next Monday. Bye for now.